Who is the real Shiv Sena? 4 years after the rebellion that changed Maharashtra politics forever, the battle is far from over. And now a fresh political operation threatens to reopen old wounds. The Eknath Shinde camp claims that Operation Tiger is in its final phase. Shiv Sena leader Krupal Tamane has said talks with 7 Shiv Sena UBT MPs have reached an advanced stage and that they could cross over before the Monsoon Session of Parliament. If that happens, it would be a major setback for Uddhav Thackeray. Remember, the Election Commission has already recognized Eknath Shinde's faction as the official Shiv Sena and awarded it the iconic bow and arrow symbol. But politically, the contest for Balasaheb Thackeray's legacy remains unresolved. The significance of the number 7 is also crucial. Under the anti-defection law, 2/3 of a parliamentary party can avoid disqualification. Reports suggest that is exactly the target of Operation Tiger. Sensing the danger, Uddhav Thackeray called an emergency meeting of all 9 party MPs at Matoshree. Soon after, Sanjay Raut hit back, dismissing Operation Tiger and announcing a counter-strategy called Operation Wolf. The Uddhav camp claims the party is united and no MP is going anywhere. But this battle has a deeper context. Exactly 4 years ago, after the Shiv Sena Foundation Day celebrations in June 2022, Eknath Shinde launched a rebellion that brought down the Mahavikas Aghadi government. The result, or in fact the revolt, split the party, divided the cadre, changed the symbol and transformed Maharashtra's political landscape. Today, as Shiv Sena enters its 60th year and Balasaheb Thackeray's birth centenary year, the fight has entered a new phase. The question is no longer who controls the party office. The question is who commands the loyalty of the Sena worker, the Sena voter and the Sena legacy. Is Eknath Shinde further cementing his claim as the leader of the real Shiv Sena? Joining me right now is Jayant Menkar and Rennie Abraham should also be joining us right now, both of them senior journalists. Very good evening, Jayant Menkar. It's been a while. My first question to you, sir. Operation Tiger, Operation Wolf. Which way, what side, what's happening? Is this the worsening of June 2022 episode?
Yeah, more or less, Uddhav Thackeray himself has given the hint. He had said the similar words exactly 4 years before, saying that those who wanted to go, they can leave. That's what one of the ministers, one of the now Shinde Sena leader, he said. The similar words he said 4 years before. And now he's saying the same thing. Now, we will just dwell upon the anti-defection law. As per the anti-defection law, out of 9, you require 6. But now 5 are absent. So is it reaching close to that? Because the similar thing happened in nearly 4 years before. First one slot came, then another slot joined, and then final people joined at Guwahati and whatever. So from reaching from 5 to 6, it's something not very uneasy for BJP's yardstick. Or even they can ask they can use all tactics, including what Devendra Fadnavis said once, Sam, Dam, Danda, Bhed, that is more important, and can reach to 6. Because anyhow, they wanted it to break. After Bengal's success, they wanted it to happen. And that's what now I think it is imminent. And barring Arvind Sawant and Anil Desai, all other, we can't say the hardcore Shiva Sainiks. And that's what now Uddhav Thackeray is expected to face the brunt. If the 5 absentee figure is perfect, and if they are absent due to some flimsy grounds, then that 5 can anytime reach to 6.
If that's the case, let me just go to Rennie Abraham at this point. If 7, 5 or 6, whatsoever the number for whichever camp it may be, Rennie Abraham, does this essentially seal Eknath Shinde's succession of the legacy battle?
Oh, well,
I think we have a technical issue here. We have a technical issue here. Let me go back to Jayant Menkar. Jayant Menkar, do you want to respond to this? All right. We seem to be playing a little bit of a cat and a mouse game. But Rennie Abraham, can you hear me? Does this really seal Eknath Shinde's, I mean, what does this really mean in terms of the legacy battle?
See, as far as the legacy battle is concerned, I think a couple of days from now, the Supreme Court will be seized of the battle for the symbol of the Shiv Sena that had passed on to the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena over 2 years ago. Now, that is up for legal scrutiny once again day after tomorrow. Also coinciding with that, almost on Friday, is the foundation day of the Shiv Sena party, where they're going to have a big meetup at the Goregaon, sprawling UNESCO grounds at Goregaon in western suburbs of Mumbai. There it will be quite clear how many people attend, and obviously those who would not would be clearly known to have defected or in the process of doing so. As far as the legacy battle is concerned, the very question of Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde being the inheritor of the Shiv Sena is under legal challenge. Is it not? So the legacy battles is far from the issue. Fact about it is survival. And what I can tell you very simply is that currently, the very fact that some MPs may be seeking to leave the Shiv Sena, the UBT Shiv Sena, only indicates that they find political survival to be at stake. And with 3 years more for the next Lok Sabha, they would like to be on the side of power so that they are able to contribute something to society as members of parliament with budgets at their disposal, or they will face the prospect of being obliterated from the political scheme of things from Maharashtra and in the Lok Sabha.
Okay. I'm being joined by Jayant Menkar also at this point. Jayant Menkar, what is interesting and what I do want to ask you at this point is, questions may be raised about Uddhav Thackeray's political relevance or whether he will be in power or not in power. But when it comes to his relevance in Maharashtra, Balasaheb Thackeray's or Uddhav Thackeray's relevance to Maharashtra, that was not under the scanner before. And yet what seems to be happening now seems to be only indicating that faction, the fact, will they be able to really pull off an Operation Wolf as a counter to Operation Tiger, or is this going to be rather just rhetoric?
No, the fact is that the smaller parties are really under scanner, not only in Bengal or in Tamil Nadu, whatever we are experiencing, but even in Maharashtra also. There are similar rumors even about NCP, Sharad Pawar is getting merged with Congress. There is a rumor that Trinamool is getting merged with Congress. And then there were rumors even why on only these two parties. Why not a person who is advocating this? That is Sanjay Raut. Sanjay Raut, the Samna editor and Rajya Sabha MP, himself asked all the ex-congressmen to join Congress. So then there was a counter-attack. Why don't you join? You also merge your party. Actually, what is happening is smaller parties under anti-defection law, it is finding very easy that they can garner the support of two-thirds and for the sake of money, whatever, because this constituency providing money to the constituency, all that is nothing but a ploy. It has no meaning. Main thing is the allurements that you are getting for the defection, like even Yusuf Pathan and everything. And smaller parties are finding it easy. So smaller parties are not the viable. When there is, you have to defect from Congress. Now you need 66 MPs support, which is not possible. So the even in the political circles among the opposition, this thought is gaining momentum. Is it necessary to join, particularly the Congress, the only opposition, and to avoid defection? But of course, Shiv Sena will not find any place in Congress. It is because the sons of soil theory is something which is not acceptable to Congress. So the merger of Shiv Sena and Congress in near future not possible. But the similar rumors are going on even about Sharad Pawar, who is ailing, and of course the Ajit Pawar faction also.
Is there a larger pattern that seems to be emerging, and that is the decline? I think around 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it was about the rise of regional satraps. Are we now very clearly moving towards the fall of regional satraps, the fall of the opposition, and just a very clear understanding that BJP is here to stay? Why I'm asking this is because anybody in alliance with BJP seems to be only gaining.
asking me
Is this
or
for me?
Mr. Rennie Abraham.
Well, there you are. You hit the nail on the head. And we have seen the first act of this in Maharashtra playing out back in 2022 when we saw the vertical split in the Shiv Sena and followed by, sorry, 24. And, and then it was followed by the split in the NCP as well. Now, we must understand one thing, that both the Shiv Sena, which was unified, had preferred to go in alliance with the BJP and had broken away from the BJP, with whom it was in alliance since 2014 to 2019. Post 2019 state assembly elections, they preferred to truck with the NCP and Congress, although the Congress was a reluctant party in the MBA government then. So what you say, Sneha, is very true. It's ultimately about being in power. In the earlier days, before the NDA government under PM Modi came into force in 2014, being out of political power for even 10 years was not an unusual phenomenon. However, post 2014, the political realities changed. And if you are out of power even for 5 years, your whole political career faced the prospect of being obliterated. That is why we saw a lot of this, jumping to and fro, breaking up of parties, because many of the elected MLAs and MPs realized the need to be in power, the need to be seen to be in power, and doing developmental works if they wanted to be elected again. So that is why we've seen all these movements happening. And right now, as we speak, with these a majority of the 9 MPs of the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena are seemingly heading for a similar situation and circumstance of defecting out of their party, is again because they have got their eyes on the elections scheduled in 2029. Now, if I may add here, Sneha, we saw even Sharad Pawar's NCP, which was undivided, was at one time in talks, in consultations with the BJP. And what prevented that from happening, because the late Ajit Dada had said this very clearly. We were in discussions, and at the last moment, my uncle, Sharad Pawar Sr., had backed off from the plan, but I went ahead with it. Now, why would Sharad Pawar Sr. have backed off? As I understood, he was very keen that his daughter, Supriya Sule, needed to be accommodated as an agriculture minister in the NDA government, following which he was willing to truck with the BJP. However, the agriculture minister's portfolio is something the BJP would never part with, just like the rural development portfolio and the home department portfolio. So that's why this whole fracas happened, and therefore NCP was divided. Before that, Shiv Sena was divided in Maharashtra.
Right, Jain Menkar, let's just close the show with your last remarks on this. Jain Menkar, essentially, is this the end of the road to what would be seen? And very ironically, I'm asking you this question, because Maharashtra has a lot of regional sentiments, has a lot of us versus them. But with what's happening with this party, what's happened with NCP, what's happened in the past in 2022, is this really the end of the road for a lot of people who otherwise would have called them as the torch bearers of Marathi pride?
Well, I will say that still it is not, curtains are not down for the Marathi Manus Asmita or so-called whatever, because where Shiv Sena would go, where Mr. Thackeray would go, even there are chances, there are even rumors always that Eknath Shinde is likely to be merged, which is quite possible. But will the person...
No, what are you saying? There are rumors that Eknath Shinde must be merged with whom?
BJP. There are rumors. Eknath Shinde faction is having an offer, olive branch, whatever you say, but the merger talks between of Ajit Pawar and Eknath.
I mean, why would Eknath Shinde or BJP both, have an axe on their legs when they're doing well?
No, you feel so that they're... No.
Sorry, Rennie, you wanted to say something? You were saying something, Rennie?
Yeah, I would take issue with my Jayant on this aspect. On the contrary, I feel the only disconsonance between the BJP and the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena party in Maharashtra currently is it might be over the prospect of these Shiv Sena MPs who are going to break away, whether
Okay.
they would join up with the BJP or with the Eknath Shinde
Okay,
faction
very
of the
quickly.
Sena. I
Jayant
don't
Menkar,
think
I'll
they
give
would
you
be
30 seconds to make your last remark, to complete your last remarks.
No, you see, why? Because there are rumors right now going on that again, Eknath Shinde may be offered chief ministership, but that is not a question. Actually, BJP wants, they are now 132. They want to complete 145 on its own. And
All
for
right.
that, either Ajit Pawar faction or Eknath Shinde faction, which they are looking for.
Okay,
This
we
way,
leave it at that, sir. We leave it at that. We'll have to see how this really plays out. A whole lot of political stakes running really high. Thank you very much, Jayant Menkar. Thank you very much, Rani Abraham, for joining us.